Just obviously here for Fight with TV, joined by John Ryder. How's things?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, big fight that you got coming up on Saturday. Big opportunity as well on the back end of that. Obviously we'll start with your opponents. What do you know of him, and do you know much about him?
Only what I've seen on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? I was hoping to see him at the public workout yesterday. They had a bit of a delay getting here, so it was nice to see him today and get a measure of the size of him. I thought he was a bit shorter. It turns out he's a bit taller than I am. Similar build, so it should be an interesting fight.
And I believe he is ex-kickboxer as well.
Yeah, I think ex-kickboxer world champion, so
yeah.
I think it does show in his style. We watch him fight, he's a bit all over the place with the footwork, switched orthodox and southpaw. Quite a negative style really. He throws four quick shots and then wants to get out of the way, and then if you get close, wants to claim audio and try and hold a bit.
I mean, in terms of being an ex-kickboxer, and he can come across a little bit clumsy and everything. It's going to be a gift and a curse, that, in a sense, for yourself as him as an opponent. Something that really springs to mind in terms of kickboxers and opponents for people who've caused people problems. Obviously the Callum Smith fight, but he fought Holskin. I don't know whether you ever watched that fight. But he gave him, I wouldn't say give him problems, but he was an awkward opponent, and it was hard to look good against him. Do you see that being an issue on Saturday night potentially? Yeah,
definitely, but I feel in Callum's case he was more just getting through the fight, just being sensible, not taking too many risks, just securing his place for the final against George Groves.
Yeah.
I do get what you're saying. It's one of the things, the kickboxers, they see things differently from the conventional boxers, and they will throw more unorthodox shots that will catch like a conventional boxer out.
Yeah. And in terms of obviously yourself, you've got good momentum, obviously going into this fight. A good obviously knockout of Jamie Cox. How confident are you actually going into this fight, and do you feel you've definitely got momentum going into it?
Yeah, definitely. My confidence is sky high at the moment. I'm really feel like I'm riding a wave. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to stop. I'm buzzing. I'm enjoying boxing, and it's just got to take care of business Saturday to move on to bigger and better things.
And obviously you've had some high profile defeats in your career. Armfield, obviously Rocky Fielding as well.
Yeah.
What do you learn from them? And obviously, they were tough fights, close fights. What can you learn on them going forward, and how do you kind of turn those defeats into a positive?
Well, you look at the likes of the Fielding fight and the Billy Joe Saunders fight. There was 50-50 fights, do you know what I mean? And if you ask a room full of people, 50% might say I won, 50% might say I lost. And you look at what they've gone on to, they're both world champions. You know what I mean? So I can't take too much negative from that. I've tested myself against the best, and if people think I've come up short, then so be it. The likes of the Armfield fight, that was my last fight at middleweight. I was done in. It was just a surprise to me that I made the weight that day.
Yeah.
Same with the black belt. It's just it all come down to weight, and then I hit a wall, and I mean they are the defeats, but I don't read too much into it because I know weight played a major factor.
How are you actually feeling then at super middleweight now? How was that in terms of obviously struggling at middleweight? How are you feeling at super middleweight?
Feeling alive, feeling like I can go into a fight and have a good hard 12 rounds, whereas at middleweight when I was getting into them 12 round fights, it's just more a case of I've got to get through this. Do you know what I mean? When you're thinking about surviving rather than winning, it's a bad place to be.
Yeah. And in terms of your defeats, obviously you mentioned Billy Joe Saunders and Rocky Fielding, and kind of within hindsight of where they've come in their career, does that help that those guys have really kicked on and are operating at world level versus sort of how it might feel at the time as they sort of kick on with their careers, and you think, well, actually that defeat isn't as bad as maybe it felt at the time?
No, of course, yeah. I mean, hindsight's a great thing. You look back and you're fighting for the British title and you think, is this my level? Do you know what I mean? Then they go on and they achieve, and you kind of spur them on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Billy Joe's done great things. Rocky's done great things. He's gone to Germany, won the world title, and it's just like fair play to the both of them.
Yeah. And this obviously fight will put you in line for obviously a mandatory for WBA Super. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
Obviously, you must be looking at Rocky in terms of, his experience in New York with Canelo and the stock exchange and all that, and the glitz and glamour that kind of goes with that. How much is that kind of like an aspiration to kind of get to where he's now pushed onto with his career?
Do you know what? It's a real buzz, and I mean, I've got nothing against Rocky. Do you know what I mean? We share the ring. It's just one of those things. He's got to be buzzing. Do you know what I mean? He must be. I'm sure he looks at Canelo as looked at Canelo as a fan in the past, but now he's got to look at him as like a real big threat.
Yeah.
Go in there with a bit of hatred and fire and he's ready to go out there and want to smash him.
Yeah, and that's a fight as well potentially for yourself that you would take on obviously the Rockfield and rematch, or again the Canelo, the Callum Smith fight. They're big incentives for you now to push past your opponents on Saturday and get those opportunities.
Yeah, well definitely, because Eddie did state that Callum would probably be tied up after the Super Series for a while, wanted to have a rest and recoup a bit, and he did say that Fielding's title might be the next move, so I mean who knows, him against Canelo maybe the winner of that.
Yeah, but the division is alive and you're in a great position to pounce as well, so good luck, hope it all goes well on Saturday, and John Ryder, thanks for talking to Fight Up TV.
Thank you, mate.
Good man.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, mate. Cheers.